Guys, so today's video is going to be a watch me work video. I'm going to show you how I do my nails. This is a really very simple Valentine's Day makeup look. If you know me, you know I love simple pinky nudes. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So to start out, I have to remove my previous set. I have some little pearls on my cuticle line from my previous set, so I'm just using some junk nippers to remove those really quick. And then I'm going to use a carbide barrel bit to get that previous product as thin as I can so that it doesn't take forever to soak. Really quick, I'm not exactly sure why my camera, it looks kind of like just poor quality here in the beginning of the video. I'm not exactly sure why. I did mess with my settings a little bit later in the video, so it does get better later on, just so you know. So this is a carbide cone bit, and I'm running it as fast as I can. I've got my e-file maxed out at 35,000 RPMs so that it can really slice through that product and get it thinned out. Fun fact, I actually have absolutely no idea where this bit went. Since the filming of this video, I have lost my carbide bits. I only have my really fine carbide bits left, so that's a big fat bummer. Hopefully I find those. So once I get the product pretty thin, I am just pouring some acetone in some glass little ramekins and soaking that for as long as I can stand. I get very bored with my hands in these things, so. And then I will use my metal pusher to scrape off the product as much as I can. I do a lot of going back and forth, scraping, soaking, scraping, soaking. The reason why I am soaking off my nails entirely is because I decided to change the shape, and I had been wearing this full set for about 5 weeks, maybe 5 or 6 weeks, so I really truly, I could have filled this set. I just felt like soaking it all the way off and giving myself a fresh new set. So this right here is my natural nails. Very thin, very bendy. You will see later, I totally broke a nail. I don't know when or how, but I do. So I am very gently using, this says 180, I don't trust that. I think it's a 240 to shape my natural nails very gently, because like I said, they are very thin. That is just naturally how my nails are. That's why I always have fakies on. And if I don't, I have to keep them short because I will tear them, as you will see later. Now I'm just cleansing my natural nail plate with some alcohol and a nail brush. This is a 99% alcohol, getting all that dust and oil off of there. Now I'm taking a cuticle remover. This is by Elle. It is the citrus version. I don't think she has any other versions yet, but I love this cuticle softener. I think it is so good. I do prefer, I think, using these for pedicures. I do prefer dry prepping, but I will go ahead and show you in this video how I would wet prep. I just apply that on all my cuticles and then use my pusher to kind of scrape off that dead tissue off of my nail plate that will cause lifting if I don't get rid of it. Making sure to neutralize this cuticle softener is key, so I just do that with, again, my 99% alcohol. Cleanse off that nail plate, make sure that all of the softener is gone. And now I'm just taking my nippers and grabbing some of that dead cuticle tissue that is kind of sticking up and off of the nail plate, just nipping that away. Now I am using my Elle soft gel tips. I absolutely love these tips. Fun fact, I actually didn't like them at all when I first started using them because I thought they were too thin, but with the technique that I use to apply them these days that I learned in nail school, they actually work out much better than the original après tips that are a lot thicker. So I will show you, of course, how I apply these and why I prefer them thinner these days, but I am just sizing them out to fit my nails, making sure that they fit sidewall to sidewall. You always want to select a larger tip. If you're in between sizes, you always want to select a larger one and then use a hand file to shape it to fit your nail plate. If you go too small, you are risking cracking the tip. Now I'm using a diamond cone bit, kind of like a flame bit on my e-file, so I run this quite a bit slower because it is a diamond bit, and I'm just etching the underside of these tips. You might wonder how much this matters. It matters a lot. You will be very surprised. These soft gel extensions will not last if you do not etch the underside of the tip. I learned the hard way. Here, really quick, I just wanted to show you, this is my broken nail. I don't know how it happened or when it happened, but that is how thin my nails are. It just cracked. This, as you can't really tell, but I just wanted to show you guys, this is my Elle dehydrator. It's kind of like a pH bonder, so I'm just applying that to the nail plate to get rid of any oils left on the natural nail plate that, of course, will cause lifting. And this is my Elle non-acid primer. Again, these bottles are looking absolutely crazy. That is not because of the product. Please hear me. It's because these bottles have been in and out of my kit, which has been in and out of my car, which has been in and out of my garage, overnight, maybe, says who, I don't know, not me, for the last 5 or 6 months. So these bottles have been through the ringer. That's why they look gross. That is the only reason why they look gross. This is the press-on gel quote glue by Elle that you use to essentially adhere the soft gel tips to your nails. Now I say glue, quote unquote, because it's not actually glue. It is gel. It needs to be cured in the UV light, and it does not break down in water, whereas glue does. So glue is just a nice, easy word that people understand. This is the attacher. You're using it to attach your tips, but it is not glue. So I'm just doing a really thin layer of that all over my natural nail plate, and I will cure that for 60 seconds. Now I am applying that same quote glue, that gel adhesion, press-on glue, whatever, to the underside of the tip, and I kind of paint it covering the entire area that will cover my free edge, a very thin layer, but then I sort of pile more of it up toward that cuticle area, and then I will press it down onto my nail plate, starting at the cuticle area and then pressing the tip downward until all of that quote glue flows up toward the free edge. I will flash cure it for maybe 15 or 20 seconds, and then once I'm done with all the fingers, I will cure the entire hand for a full 60-second cure. Now, when I apply these tips, this is something I do differently since nail school. I apply it much further away from the cuticle line. I used to, and most people you'll see on social media, most people apply their tips right up against the cuticle line. I have not been doing that lately, and I cannot believe how much I prefer this new method I've been doing. So I back it way off the cuticle, and I will show you how I finish the look so that I get a much nicer grow out. That is essentially why I do it this way now. It's basically to create a much more flush cuticle line with my natural nail plate so that it's less obvious as my natural nail grows.
and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you?
So here, hopefully you can kind of see that my soft gel artificial tips are a little bit further away from the cuticle. Now I'm going to go ahead and trim and shape them. I do not recommend using clippers like I am here. I am just that lazy. My tip cutters are currently in my car. So typically I would advise you use tip cutters. It's just a lot easier and safer than using clippers like this, but you know, in a pinch. And now I'm just using my hand file to shape them up. I'm going for a little bit more of like a tapered square, and I kept them pretty long in this video. I did just a few days later trim them down because these are too long, but they are really pretty. At one point I switched over to a 100 grit because I'm lazy and this is taking too long, so I am using a 100 grit to shape these. The lower the grit number, the grittier it is. So a 240 is like a buffer, which is very gentle, and a 100 is a lot grittier. Now I'm just using my sanding band. I believe this is a 180 sanding band to rough up the surface of the tip. And I'm also using the sanding band to sort of blend that ledge that the tip created between the artificial tip and my natural nail plate. I want that to be as flush as I can get it. It's not super important because of the next step, but I do like it to be a little bit more flush. Now, I don't exactly know if this step is entirely necessary. I don't think it hurts, which is why I decided to do it. I am re-priming a second time because of all of the dust and everything that I just created with my shaping and sanding and all of that good stuff. So I am re-priming over top of the artificial tip. Now, this is my favorite Luminary soft gel. This is their Multi-Flex gel in the color Hope. It has been such a go-to lately. I absolutely love it. It's the perfect soft pink, especially for Valentine's Day. So I'm using my Young Nail gel brush and I'm applying a slip layer, meaning this is a very thin layer all along the surface of the nail, keeping it very thin and keeping it uncured. This is basically going to tell the gel where it's allowed to go. And now I am just building out the structure on top of that slip layer. I switch back and forth between my Young Nail brush and this is actually a Beetles brush. It's actually technically an art brush, but it is a very detail brush because it's very, very thin. So it's much easier to get into those cuticle and sidewalls to tell the gel where to go and create that structure that I want. Thin cuticle and sidewalls and a nice apex to build strength. This is definitely the part of the process that requires the most practice. I have been doing this and practicing for the last 5 months of my life, and I'm still not even close to where I want to be. But this is the part that will build the strength, and because I'm using a colored luminary, this is going to give me that really nice pink, soft pink color for Valentine's Day. Or really any day of the year, because I am that B-word.
I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about me and you? Can we talk about the truth? I wanna know, I wanna know. Can we talk about me and you?
Hopefully this camera angle is more helpful for you. I switch back and forth between a couple different cameras. Don't mind me, just trying to figure out how this best works. But I think this side view will really help you see where I'm building more height and where I'm keeping it thinner. One thing to keep in mind with gel, which is even more true of the Luminary Multiflex, is that it is a little bit of a runnier gel, which is why a slip layer is important, and you also want to use gravity to your advantage. Every once in a while you will see me flip my hand upside down. That is so that gravity helps pull the product down, basically to create an apex where I want it. Pro tip, make sure that when you are curing gel on your thumb that you keep it level, you keep it parallel with your tabletop, because you don't want to cure your gel lopsided and get it all up in the sidewall. That is going to take a lot of extra e-filing and possibly hurting your skin. So once all nails are done and out of the light, I'm just cleansing off the inhibition layer with some 99% alcohol and going in with my hand file to kind of shape up the free edge, and then I will go in with a 180 band and shape up the structure and the surface of the enhancement, making sure to thin out any thickness on the cuticle or sidewalls. I also can take this band underneath the nail to kind of really shape up that free edge, just in case any soft gel kind of seeped under it. That is an upside to using tips. I don't need a whole lot of extra work on the C-curve, but just in case anything kind of flooded over the free edge, I can use a band on my e-file to kind of clean that up a little bit. Once more, cleansing away that dust, and then if I notice any spots that I've missed or any low spots in the enhancement that I've built, I will take more gel and build up that area. So here is what the final structure looks like. That's how I'm wearing them right now. I top coated them and I'm done. But if you want to go a little bit more fun, add some Valentine's Day art, I am a sticker, water decal, transfer foil kind of gal. I do not like hand painting art. I'm not good at it. It takes me way too long. I can't stand it. So these are water slides. They're super cheap. I got them from Amazon. I will link them down below. But they're like little cupids. There's like some little angels, some little cupids. There's some with like crosses. There's all kinds of cool stuff. So I will link those down below. You just cut out the shape that you want, peel away the clear backing, soak it for 15-20 seconds, and then kind of slide away that white backing off of the sticker, and then you just kind of stick it on there, play with it, and make sure it's in the spot that you want. And then I like to press into it with like a lint free, making sure that it's laying flat and I get all that water out of the way. And then I'm gonna go ahead and top coat it. This is the Young Nail Ultimate Finish top gel. I have a love-hate relationship with this top coat. It is so glossy, glassy looking. It is so pretty, but it smells like wet, stinky cheese feet. And one of these nails with the decal on it, I don't think I got the decal that close to the free edge, but one of the nails that has a decal on it, it did kind of start to peel away. Not the decal, but the top coat. So I don't love that, but look at how glassy they look. I'm still trying to figure out how to best work with this top coat. But that is the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss any future videos of mine, and I will see you guys next time.
I'm so cold. Yeah, my heart's sinking like a